here with the legend, Sir Thomas Peretu, and we want to talk about music. We want to talk about legend too. We want to talk about Fela and Nicola Kuti and the legacy he has left behind for us and left for us to enjoy. Sorry, sir. Let's talk about Fela. Let's start with introduction. Who is Fela as a person first? Before I say who is Fela to you.
Well, thank you. I don't know why you chose me to talk about Fela because I am not in any way competent to talk about Fela. My relationship with him, started just in the early 80s. And it lasts about probably about 5 or 6 years. So give or take, I'm not the right person to talk about him. However, the little I know about him, I would tell you. Um, Fela, you ask who is he to me? Fela is everything. Fela is a man ahead of his time. Fela was not just a musician. Fela was an activist. Fela was a fighter for the downtrodden. Fela was not a musician per se in the real sense of it. Fela was an act. He was using music to fight the system, to fight the establishment. Fela was a unique human being. Fela was an enigma, a man that can marry over 36 women in the same day. He's not just another human being. Fela was not just another person on the street. Fela was a unique person. Fela was a revolutionary. You know. Fela's music today is as fresh as ever. Fela was a prophet. Fela was ahead of his time.
Yeah, and you are one of the few journalists that are privileged to be close to Fela. Today we're hearing Afrobeat artists saying that they are selling 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 capacity. And going by the record, I saw that Fela has been doing this thing since around 70s. Filling stadium, feeding auditorium. Is it misinformation? Or that we're thinking that these guys are doing it now, not knowing that this thing has already been done by Fela, that everything we're doing now, as if you're following the footsteps of the Afrobeat maestro.
Fela was the first African, pardon me if I use the word, to export music, African music to the world.
Hmm.
You know, outside of South Africans like Miriam Makeba and her husband at the time. Fela was the first African to take Nigerian music, Afrobeat, to the world. Fela at the time was selling out every stadium anywhere he goes to, especially in France. His base was more of France. You know, they loved him. Yeah. You know, for anybody to now say that, that we are selling, Fela has done that before now. Fela went to Japan and he sold out. Fela went to France, Germany, wherever, everywhere he went, he was a sellout. So before then, before the new generation, there was somebody called Fela.
Wow.
And I don't think they can beat his records anyway. You know. Grammy, yeah, some people are getting Grammys awards and all that. Fela didn't get all Grammy, but he got what was more than a Grammy award because his music was accepted all over the world, not just in Europe, but in Asia, in Oceania, and everywhere. You know. Latin America, everywhere, his music sold out. You
Wow.
know,
Wow. This is this is like a lecture on the legendary of Fela Kuti. Some people are saying that when we're talking about Afrobeat, Ghanaians are saying that Afrobeat is their own. Fela went traveled to Ghana and stole Afrobeat. Sierra Leone are saying that it was when Fela went to Sierra Leone that he learned Afrobeat. How do you that you've interviewed Fela on so many times, 101? You are one of the few that Fela gave freedom to see him anytime that you want. What can you say about this thing and the influence on Fela music that people are thinking as if it's learned that he has learned the music from them?
but the all the whatever Fela played at the time was original to him. They did not take any music from anybody. Well, there was I Life at the
In Ghana?
time in Ghana. You know, some of the names Mensa, you know, in Ghana, a lot of musicians who were, playing the trumpet and the saxophone. But I can tell you for free that Fela, the music is unique to him. You know, though Fela started with highline, you know, if you listen to the Bobby Bensons of those days, Fela was playing highline, until he traveled to US and he met Isidore, and that turned his music around. In the 60s, Fela played um, Jamkoku. Jamkoku was just another music, you know, that was I first heard Jenkoku in the 70s when I was in Bida as a little child in Bida. That was when I was exposed to the last music. Incidentally, I never knew in my life that I would ever meet him one on one. You know, uh, so what am I saying? The truth of the matter is that Fela's music is unique to him and him alone. You know, although you cannot claim totally that the music is unique to one person. Before Fela, there was highlight. Fela keyed into highlight. Now he was
Yeah.
playing highlight. He was an hodgepodge of African music with jazz. The saxophone. One thing that was unique with Fela was the
Yeah.
the not the piano, the percussion. Fantastic. The last music was more of a percussion based. Until he brought in the saxophone, the trumpet, all the wind instruments. You know, so that made his music. And then he had this way of playing African music for over 30 minutes before the instruments come on. I mean, before his voice, the vocals, he will play for over 30 minutes. All you hear is just instruments, until the voice will come in. That was unique to him. The average Westerner was not used to that kind of music. They want 3 minute music, 5 minutes music. That's what they're used to. But Fela came with something else. For one album, you have just one music, or two music, two songs, rather. So that was unique to him. You know. So for anybody to say that Fela's music was borrowed from, I think it's a boulder dash. It's neither here nor there. Nobody would tell me that Fela stole or Fela's music is not from Ghana. No, Fela took his music to Ghana. Rather, it was Ghanaians who stole his music. You know. So for me, I don't think anybody can claim that Fela's music was taken from Ghana or from Sierra Leone. No, don't agree. Fela's music was unique to him. It was Edda based. It was unique to Fela, to the Kuti, the family. You know.
Yeah, this I think the present musicians that we have in Nigeria, lead by three or four people, four young, vibrant talent that we have: the Whiskey, Burna Boy, Davido, and then we have Whiskey, Burna Boy, Davido. They are the three, what they call them, big three in the Nigerian music industry now that are pushing Afrobeat. I do think they give.
What they are playing is not Afrobeat. It's not. Don't call it Afrobeat music. Afrobeat is different from what they are playing. This is after 2 years, after a year, you will not hear those music anymore. Fela's music is far removed from Afro, what they
That's
call
why they add
Afrobeat.
S Afrobeats.
It should have a different name, not Afrobeat. Afrobeat is Fela's music. Don't adulterate. They are trying to adulterate the Fela's music, and I'm hungry when I hear people say, "Oh, Afrobeats." What's Afrobeat? There is nothing like Afrobeat. What you have is Afrobeat music, and Afrobeat music is Fela's music.